So we're in the middle of May, enjoying the event so far. The last little bit of the Mighty Mastery season. So let's look into this Crown Clash event that they're giving us 8 full days on. So we're going to look at the dates, the bonuses, the shinies, and the spawns to see if this is really worth 8 days of Pokemon Go. So Crown Clash is going to be Saturday, May 10th at 10 a.m. local time, all the way to Sunday, May 18th. So 2 weekends worth of events. And it's going to end at 8 p.m. local time like always. So, during Crown Clash, the event bonuses are ×2 experience for evolving Pokemon. Not bad. Increased chance to encounter Shiny Nidoqueen wearing a crown, Shiny Nidoking wearing a crown, Shiny Slowpoke, Shiny Combee, and Shiny Litleo. That's not bad at all. Shiny costume Pokemon with a boost, and then 3 other Pokemon that kind of get overlooked sometimes, so not too bad. And then when you catch a Slowpoke, you have a chance of getting a King's Rock. So again, not another little drop bonus, nothing bad at all, to be quite honest with you. I think with us getting 5 shiny boosted Pokemon in a single event, that's massive. So let's go see how we can encounter these Pokemon to see if we have 8 days worth of shiny hunting ahead of us. So, along with Nidoking and Nidoqueen wearing a crown making his Pokemon Go debut, again, these are costume Pokemon making their debut, we're also going to have the Pokemon Go debut of Kingambit. So Kingambit is a new evolution of the Poniard line. So it evolves from Bisharp, and in order to evolve a Bisharp to Kingambit, you will need to defeat 15 Dark or Steel type Pokemon in raid battles with Bisharp as your buddy. But you do not have to defeat them with Bisharp themselves. They just have to be your buddy. So interesting that it's another battle-based mechanic evolution. So we'll look into the raids to see how this event is going to be promoting a Dark and Steel type raid fights. But that's another debut along with the 2 shiny costume Pokemon. But in the wild, we will get the following Pokemon: Slowpoke, Slackoff, Piplup, Combee, Snivy, Litleo, and the rare spawn is going to be Poniard. Makes sense. We're getting a Kingambit evolution, so Poniard in the wild makes perfect sense. So you evolve your Poniard to a Bisharp, make it your buddy, and then you can get a Kingambit. Every single Pokemon can be shiny. As a reminder, the Slowpoke, the Comfey, and a Litleo all have boosted shiny odds. Now, in terms of the raids, we see that we have to defeat Dark and Steel types. So what are we going to get in terms of raids to see if we can promote the Kingambit evolution? So in the 1-star raids, we have Sneasel, Clink, and Poniard. And in the 3-star raids, we have Nidoqueen wearing a crown and Nidoking wearing a crown. So Nidoqueen and Nidoking are not Dark type and they're not Steel type. So the shiny boosted costume Pokemon are again locked behind a raid wall. Not necessarily my favorite thing. I know a lot of us get frustrated with that, especially because we only get 1 free raid a day, and this is the 3-star level. Yes, it is soloable, but not really what I want to waste my raid on, especially when I'm trying to get a Kingambit, and I have, in these 1-star raids, I have Dark and Steel type right here that I can fight. So, not the best feeling, not the best look, but for those who love shiny costume Pokemon, the 3 stars are where you're at. Unfortunately, that's where we're at. As always, we're going to have field research tasks that are going to give us encounters of event-themed Pokemon. And then there is going to be a collection challenge. So it's going to be event-themed collection challenge, catch and complete, and evolve-focused challenges. So remember, this is going to be an evolution one because we have a bonus of evolution experience. And then once that it's completed, trainers level 31 above will be guaranteed XL candy after evolving a Pokemon. So you want to complete the collection challenge, and then that way you can get extra XL candy on every evolution you do afterwards. So it's not a bad collection challenge incentive. So it could be a lot better. We have the showcases for the events. This is 8 days, multiple weekends, so there can be up to 3 different showcase windows for this event. So just keep on the lookout for your stops that are showcases and make sure you're getting the right Pokemon. And it's also having us reminding us of the track Pokemon capability on the map. So if you want to track a Pokemon, you can. They were obviously pushing Ponyard because it's the event for Kingambit, but it isn't the worst thing in the world. But I'm a little disappointed that Nidoqueen and Nidoking are locked behind those 3-star raids. But honestly, the rest of the event seems solid. Most people are not going to get Kingambit during the event, but it's one of those situations where plan up, prep up, get a good Bisharp, make it your buddy, and just start grinding away those 15 raids. Over time, you'll be able to get it. That way, you can get a good Kingambit. And then hopefully we'll find an easier way to get Kingambit in the future with better spawn pools for the raid of Pokemon themselves. But that's it for today. 8 days of shiny hunting with 3 Pokemon boosted in the wild, 2 in raids, and a new Pokemon debut. Not too bad. Again, the raids are only a real disappointment, but everything else seems fine. But I'm going to go enjoy more of this beautiful weather that we have today, getting ready for this event in Pokemon Go, because it's going to be a long one, and I need it. Everyone should be ready for it. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys later. All right. I know I just did the outro. Sorry, guys. This is a takeover event. So Crown Clash Takeover is going to be on Wednesday the 14th at midnight on the 14th, all the way to Sunday the 18th at midnight. This adds a whole new level to this event. So let's look over the details of the takeover portion of this event on top of what we've already discussed. To see if, again, it's an 8-day long event, then now it just got a whole bunch better. So for the takeover portion of this event, Team Go Rocket will appear more frequently at Pokestops and in balloons. So balloons are about every 2 hours, and then pretty much every single Pokestop. You can use the Charge TM to get frustration off your Shadow Pokemon. Huge. We see that every single one of these takeover events. And then Pokemon caught via 1-star and 3-star Shadow Raids during the event will have a wider variance in attack, defense, and HP, which really just means they're going to be a little better. There's a chance of getting better Shadow 1-star and 3-star raids. So that's not a bad thing. As we've been seeing, the Shadow Pokemon for this event is Dialga. So Giovanni, when you do encounter Giovanni for this event, he will have Shadow Dialga with, and honestly, it is not a bad one to have. You get a Super Rocket Radar and you'll be able to get it. You can claim this by doing the special research until the end of Pokemon Go, the Might and Mastery event, which goes up until June 3rd at 10 p.m. 10 a.m. So nothing super duper crazy there. Now, let's look at the Shadow Pokemon that we're going to be seeing. As always, we will get a rotation on Sierra, Cliff, and Arlo, but we don't have those Pokemon just yet. We'll be getting those pretty much the day of the event. But honestly, anything is better than the current rotation, so that's a win for us. The following Pokemon will be in Shadow battles, so we're going to get Shadow Slackoff, Inkay, Tyrant, and Amora added to the Shadow pool. So Slackoff will be with the normal trainers. Inkay will be with either Psychic or Dark. Tyrant will be Dragon or Rock, and Amora will be Ice or Rock. So, new Shadow Pokemon to add, not a bad thing at all. And then in Shadow Raids, we'll get, in the 1-star Shadow Raids, we will be getting Magnemite, Cyndaquil, Murkrow, and Spoink. Magnemite and Murkrow can be shiny, as they were already shiny before. And in the 3-star Shadow Raids, we'll get Lapras, Piloswine, and Garter, with Lapras being the only one that can be shiny, as we've gotten shiny Shadow Lapras released in the past. So, again, with the 1-star raids, we are seeing Magnemite and Murkrow hit that metal and dark bone requirement for Kingambit. And unfortunately, none of the 3-star raids do that. So, nothing good, I guess, in terms of that. But I think here's a shift as well for this event in the egg pool. Beginning of this event and continue afterwards. Larvitar and Pioneer will be available in 10K eggs and no longer in the 12K eggs. So Larvitar and Pioneer are getting out of the 12K egg or the Shadow egg pool, because you can only get a 12K egg when you defeat a Rocket Leader, and they will be permanently added to the 10 km pool. Now, Larvitar has had Community Day and Community Day Classics, so a lot of us probably already have a lot of Larvitar with good IVs, but it doesn't hurt to catch one every once in a while. And then Pioneer is getting attention because of the Kingambit evolution. So, again, nothing super crazy there. We'll be getting field research tasks that will get us components, fast, and charge TMs as part of the takeover portion of this event. And then there is going to be a time to research. Unfortunately, it's paid, so $4.99, the magic number, where you'll get 1 Super Rocket Radar, 2 Premium Battle Passes, encounters with Nidoqueen and Nidoking wearing a crown, and a couple other pieces. I think this is going to be multi-step. So, it is what it is. Honestly, the takeover portion of it adds on to this alright event. It could definitely be better, and I think the takeover definitely makes it better. So, but I didn't want to forget that as part of this event. It's 8 days long, broken into 2 4-day halves effectively. So, I'm excited for the for new Shadow Shinies with the leaders. That rotation is desperately needed. And then Shadow Dialga is coming to the game, which is always fantastic. So, in the comments, guys, let me know which portion of this event you are looking forward to. Honestly, the takeover saves it. It is an amazing event. It is awesome. Takeovers are always fun, and honestly, the steps to get to the Shadow Legendary through Giovanni are not always hard. Just have to be on top of it during the event itself. But with that, I am actually going to be going. I'm actually going to enjoy the weather, and I am looking forward to this event even more now that I realize it's a takeover portion of it, and hope you guys are too. And as always, I'll see you guys later.